Organic technology, or what I would characterize as consciousness technology, is the future for humanity. This was the point of my last video. Talked about inorganic versus organic technology and got some questions. What do you mean by organic technology? How do I get some of that? And what are the ramifications of this? So let's get into it. Number one, inorganic versus organic. Inorganic is anything that's external to us, it's built by us, physical things, and they exist out there. These are phones and laptops and televisions and cars and planes. And the idea is, oh, I want to talk to somebody in London. I need a phone. I want to visit my friend in San Francisco. I need a plane. I want to go to the grocery store. I need a car. I'm bored. I need to be entertained. I turn on YouTube. Or I might say, I want to know who the 28th president is. And all of a sudden, I need to have access to the internet or ChatGPT or Gemini or something. Inorganic technology. Organic technology is that which comes from nature. The human body, for instance, the human avatar is natural. It comes from the rhythms of the earth, of the universe. And it's a beautiful, wondrous thing. It's self-healing. Cut your finger, it heals up. Phone breaks, you got to take it to the iBreak shop and get it fixed, put a new screen on. And sometimes we need medical interventions as well. But the point is that it is self-healing. I believe that we have the ability to connect to subtle energies, to read energetic waves, electromagnetic frequencies, vibrations. We're just now, as a collective consciousness, starting to tap into this. It's going to be a very fascinating decade or so to see where this all goes. So how do I get into it? Number one, I need a mindful practice. The mindful practice needs to be daily. It can look however looks for you, works for you. For me, it's a morning meditation of 10 to 20 minutes, at least 20 to 30 at night, at least a 20 to 30 minute walk at least once a day. Walks count. Walks can be very meditative things, especially if you can get into nature. Try to listen to the trees. And in the process, you end up quieting your mind. I know people that go running and they hit these zones that they talk about. And to me, that sounds like what I feel when I get into a very deep meditative state. So you need to practice. Number two, you need to quiet the mind, soften the edges of the ego, take away its power. And isn't this just essentially the results of step number one? Yes, it is. But you can't hear the intuition. You can't be deeply mindful. You can't be curious about your life and the things that happen unless you've reached a space where your mind isn't a cacophony of thoughts and arguments and beliefs. And you got to get it slowed down. And then what do I mean by curious? I mean by curious is as an observer of this experience, I might be on a Zoom meeting and say, somebody just said something that triggered me. What did it trigger and why? I may not deal with it in the moment, but in my evening meditation, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to clear that and see what that's all about. I'm curious about it. The third thing is you need faith. Without faith, gosh, these lists all sound the same, don't they? Right? You need mindfulness. You need quiet the mind. You need faith. Right? These are the solutions. These are almost universal to solve many consciousness challenges and dilemmas. But the point that I'm making is that if we create our own reality, and our reality is created based on our beliefs, and if we want access to consciousness technology, then we sure better believe in consciousness technology. Not only believe that it exists or that it is possible as a human, but that it's possible as this human, right? That's a very important distinction. You have to believe that you can do it. So mindfulness practice, quiet the mind, faith. Now, what are the things that I think you can do with this? So to use the example before, I want to talk to somebody in London. What if I could just communicate telepathically. I could just tune to them in London, find their energy, and communicate with them. I believe this is possible. I don't know if it's very widespread in terms of humans being able to do it, but I think it's possible. Or you might say, well, I want to go to San Francisco. What if we could teleport? What if we just, these are the chariots that are talked about in the Bible, right? Like Ezekiel's chariot might just be some vehicle, which I would call the Merkaba, or the light body, that just allows us to travel the material and non-material realms instantaneously. We can travel anywhere we want in time and space. That's interesting. I've seen videos of people practicing telekinesis, focusing, like the one I saw recently was essentially tin foil, somehow connected to something, but then the wind was turned on and then somebody was kind of like shooting their hands at it, and you'd see these ripples. And I don't know if it's real or AI, who knows? But I mean, the Jedi can do it, but can we do it? Not sure. Maybe. So these are these are some of the things, right? Like, again, I want to go to the grocery store. Boom, pop into the grocery store. Don't even have to go to the car. So these are the inorganic technologies, and these are the organic technologies that are in contrast to the inorganic technologies. And humanity is on the cusp of remembering all of these things. And remember, if it is possible to be thought of, then it must exist, because the universe encompasses everything in all time and space and all dimensions, all at once. And therefore, if you can think of it, it must exist, because you couldn't have a thought of a thing that doesn't exist, I don't think. Perhaps that's a topic for another video. But as we continue to explore these gifts and remember these gifts and accelerate our expansion of consciousness over the next 5 to 10 years, I think we're going to start to see things that we thought were only possible in science fiction movies and comic books. And it's a fascinating time to be alive. And it is the future of humanity. Use inorganic technology to assist you, but I recommend you focus on developing consciousness technology.